Hi everyone, I hope you're fine and well today because right now for our week 8 in EL 107 teaching of the macro skills, what we are about to tackle is the lesson planning, which wherein our focus will be about the macro skills. Well, speaking and writing to be more specific because we are done tackling the activities, the theories, approaches regarding those two macro skills. So let's start as to how we should write a lesson plan. Maybe this will be an initial stage, especially if you are just a starter in writing a lesson plan. Okay, so lesson planning, the how. Okay, but of course, before we proceed with the how, let us determine what are the parts of the lesson plan. Actually, what is the lesson plan? That's one thing we have to determine or to identify this for this a lesson. So, a lesson plan is a teacher's daily guide for what the students need to learn, how it will be taught, and how will learning be measured. So, in this case, guys, as a teacher educator, you have to plan things out. Many would say that, why do we have to plan? We have to be spontaneous as teacher. Well, that's not a thing if we are talking about education. Because most of the time, we have to plan things out in order to make it more appropriate for our students. That's why education is really a difficult thing to be in because we have to plan, we have to study a lot of things in order to be an effective teacher. And lesson planning is one, maybe, of the hardest thing that a future educator will encounter once she tries teaching in the academy. Okay, so this is the teacher's daily guide. This one will make a teacher, okay, this is what I will do in this time. And then this is what I will do for the second part. Imagine being in a classroom where you have no idea what to teach. Are you in that situation? Well, as a future educator, you should not be because we should have a lesson plan in the first place. Okay, so the most effective lesson plans have six key parts. Okay, the first one is the lesson objectives. Guys, this is the most important thing that we have to craft in lesson plan. You have to know, why am I in this classroom? What should the students acquire after leaving my class? So that is lesson objectives. Second, related requirements, or it could be our standard, the competency that comes from the DepEd since we are in secondary. And then the lesson materials, of course. What are the things you are going to use during your discussion? Would it be a PowerPoint presentation? Is there maybe a box, okay, a tickets or anything? So you put it down there, maybe the books that you will be using. Lesson procedure will be the body of the lesson plan because in procedure, this is what happens, the pre-discussion and the during discussion is inside here. How should you facilitate the class? How would you discuss the lesson to your students? Okay? And then for the assessment method, okay, after discussing everything, of course, we have to measure if the students really learned something or not. Okay, so that's it. That's assessment method. You have to also indicate that in your lesson plan. And also, you have to know that the lesson objective should be, of course, uh, should target, okay? Should be the main target. The lesson objective should be the main target for the assessment method. Because this is what I want my students to learn. So this will be my assessment method. You will know if your objectives is really met. And lastly will be lesson reflection. Well, lesson reflection will be on the part of the teachers, okay? Where, well, what is the teacher's what the teachers realize after discussing the lesson, or it could be for the generalization of the students, like how will they apply it in real life. Actually, teaching English is really a fun thing, okay, to do in the classroom because you can relate English to almost anything. That's why it's a fun way to teach. Okay, so those are some of the elements or the parts of the lesson plan we have to take. But I also give to you the format of the lesson plan. Okay, so now I already give you the overview of the parts of the lesson plan. Now what we will be doing is to take it part by part. Okay, so the first one is the lesson objective. I have told you that the objective is the heart, okay, of the lesson plan because without it, your lesson plan will be nothing. What is the sense of creating a plan if you do not want to achieve anything at the end? So, in lesson objectives, of course, since it is the heart should be the cleanest, the purest, okay, of all. Meaning, dapat ito yung pinaka-maayos na magagawa natin. At halos karamihan ng mga teachers na nag-uumpisa pa lang sa paggawa ng lesson plan, mahirap gumawa ng objectives. Dito tayo nai-stuck palagi. So, here are some things that you have to consider when writing a lesson plan. First, it should be smart, specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bounded. Okay, so let's take it down one by one. Specific. Do not be vague in terms of giving to the maybe the students what they should met at the end of the class. Remember, whenever I am tackling lessons to you, I also give it to you what is the lesson objectives because at the end that is what I want you to achieve. And then measurable. We should not limit ourselves to like a general view of things like that's the students should know the solar system. In what way? Okay, you have to identify that in your objectives. That's why know and understand should not be part of the lesson plan or the traditional lesson planning. Attainable. Guys, you are only given maybe an hour or so with the lesson and executing that. So you have to make sure that your objectives should be met with that given time, unless you have tackled or you have indicated in your lesson plan that it will be a week lesson plan, therefore it's fine. But then it should be attainable. Okay, like for example, have the students memorize the Macbeth by Shakespeare. Okay, it is specific, it is measurable. However, it is not attainable. Okay, so that's the thing. It's not attainable given that you only have maybe a week or maybe an hour to have the students memorize that. Relevant, of course, it should be related to your students. Something that the students will know. Okay, this is what I learned. Okay, this is what I will learn, and I can apply it. I can relate it to my daily life. Okay, time bounded. That will be the last thing. When we say time bounded, meaning it has two aspects. First is that it is related with attainability, wherein you can achieve that with a given time. And the second is that it is updated, meaning yung activity or yung objective mo, hindi pa no 1990s pa. Okay? Para ang hirap, para hindi sila makarelate doon. So it should be time-bounded. Something that they can apply, something that they can relate to, and is updated in trend. Okay, in other words. Okay? So these lesson objectives are the focus. Okay? The main focus of your lesson plan. This is the heart. This is where everything comes from. So whatever you write in your objectives should be manifested in all parts of the lesson plan. Okay, so that's the rule. Now, to help you out, uh, Bloom given us this the knowledge, understand, apply, analyze, evaluate, and create in order to measure the students' skills and performance. Now they converted it into objectives, verbs, specifically verbs, in order to make our objectives specific. So, for example, if you want the students to understand or to know, instead of saying those things, you can use this: define, identify, describe, recognize, tell. You see, there's a lot of options you can use aside from understand and know. Okay, so this is just memorize. Okay, memorizing now. If there is a comprehension that will happen, maybe if you are in reading skill, these are the things you can use. Maybe in writing, you can also do this. Summarize, interpret, classify, compare, contrast, infer. Okay, apply. There's an application that will happen. Solve, change, relate, compete, then you analyze, evaluate, and so with create. Okay, so you have a lot of options here, and I highly encourage you to please use these verbs as a start off. Okay, and maybe once you started teaching, you will always go back to these objectives. Okay, now here is an example. For example, you have debate, okay, a speaking skill for a macro skill. You have debate as your topic. So instead of saying understand the different types of debate, it is not very specific. And you will ask, how will the students understand? How will you know that the students understand the types of debate? So you specify it. You will say, identify the different types of debate. So if the students were able to identify the different types of debate, therefore, he or she understand the lesson. Okay, understand the different types of debate. Okay, so that's one. Second, know the concept, legal basis, and policies related to the assigned topic for a debate. So you're preparing your students for a debate. So you have them to research. Okay. So instead of saying no, let's use that. Use this word research. Okay, you let them research, and maybe you can add analyze. Okay, the concept, legal basis, and policies. Okay, and for letter C, have a debate. Somehow it is okay, but it is more appropriate if we use this one. Okay, present an argument through a debate. Diba? It's so much better if you say that the students will present an argument through a debate. Okay, so look at the flow. Okay, look at the flow of the objectives. Why is that we do not put this debate, yung like have a debate at the first part? Well, the objectives also tells us the flow of our lesson plan. For example, if I have it here in the first part, the understand or identify the different types of debate, in my pre-discussion or in my discussion part, this is the first thing that I have to target. Okay, the identify. And then on the second part, I will ask them to research. Okay, I will ask them now to research. And then that's the time on the post discussion, we will have a debate. Okay? So that is the flow. In your objectives, it can also already be seen. Okay? So please do note that. Um, Make it like here, like in this part A of your objectives, it's like knowledge and comprehension. Okay? For the first part. In this letter second part of your objective, make it like a skill, right? A reading skill, researching, analyzing, and on your last part, have them create or present something. Okay, so that is what I am expecting in your objective. Okay, so that's it. Now, let's look at the next part. So I hope we're okay with the objectives. You have to, you can read maybe a lot of examples of lesson plan so you can have an idea how to craft one. Part two will be the related requirements. Well, these related requirements, we can have the reference of that here in with the DepEd. Since we are in secondary, that is our source. Okay? Even private schools use this DepEd guide unless they will create their own curriculum. So this standard is set by a national by the national level, which is DepEd, and they impose that this should be met by the students. So, as an educator, we are part of that institution. We are part of the education system. That's why we also have to follow this. As a teacher, we should not have our own curriculum. We should follow others, the DepEd's curriculum. Kailangan, ano tayo, align tayo sa kanila. Okay? So, that's one thing. So, where should you see this? Uh-huh. This one, you can search in Google this English Curriculum DepEd. Okay, English Curriculum Guide for DepEd. May kita nyo siya agad. You can download it in PDF. So, pag nakita nyo yon, you can see they are also targeting this, the macro skill, the listening, speaking, reading, writing. Okay? So, ayan yung mga makikita nyo. Lahat. So, that's why we are also having the teaching of macro skills in our course. And then, here is the example of lesson requirement. What I am talking about is this, the program standard, the grade level standard, the content standard, and the performance standard. Okay, so that's it. Hindi siya, kinakopya lang siya actually from the curriculum itself. Okay, now, so that's it. Now, for the lesson material, so it's up to you. What are you going to use? Textbook, computers, PowerPoint, rubrics, activity packets, okay, anything, or everything that you will be using to execute the lesson. Okay? You can also include here the link. Okay, if a certain literary piece is from a web, you can include there the link of that. Okay. So yeah, that's it. So here, look at this. For example, for the grade 7, this is for the grade 7 English, writing. The focus is writing competition, composition. So the learning competency is distinguished between oral and written language use. So you see their verbs, they are also using the Bloom's taxonomy's verbs. Okay? So distinguish, that is the objective or the learning competency. And then these are the learning materials. So, ayan. Pinakita nila dyan yung anong page naman and what book. Okay. So, that's it. Now, for the fourth part is the lesson procedure. And the lesson plan that you are going to make in our midterm, you don't have to make it detailed lesson plan. Just a semi-detailed plan will do, where you will just give instructions as to what will happen in your lesson. Okay? So this is the step-by-step instructions that will walk you through everything. So from the motivation part up to the end, which is the assignment, you have to present it in your lesson plan. Okay, this is the task key, but maybe you can enjoy it if you're having fun writing the lesson plan. Okay, so you have to include here the type of activities. You can even give a name to your activities to make it like enjoyable to read. Okay. And then it will help the students meet the lesson objectives. Okay. So, question: are lesson plans meant for students? Should your students see or can your students read the lesson plan? Well, the answer is it is not necessary for your learners to see your lesson plan. Okay? But the objectives, okay, it is very necessary. They must know the objectives of the lesson. Okay, so that's the thing. But the procedure, kung ano-ano pa, they don't need to see it. But your supervisors, your principals, your program heads, they are the one who will look at it. So still, it has to be presentable. Kasi if it's only for you, okay, therefore, bakit pa natin kailangan na nyo na sobrang ayusin, di ba? Well, kasi it also shows the reflection of who we are as a teacher. Your lesson plan is like a mirror as to how you are going to teach your students. Like for example, if you do not have a good lesson plan, therefore you will not be very good in terms of teaching. Okay? That is somehow the analogy between that. So if in planning, for example, if in planning you are not really good, what more if it's in the actual class, di ba? So you have to plan it out very smooth, very appropriate for your students. Kasi kahit hindi mag-work ito, okay, sinasabi natin na it is just a plan. A plan will not always turn out the way you perceive it to be. Hindi siya palagi magiging successful. Huwag din kayong mag-assume na palagi niyo siyang mamimit. Nakaka-frustrate, nakaka-disappoint yun. But that's how it is. Ganun talaga. Hindi talaga siya lagi namimit. Lalo kung iba-ibang section. Halimbawa, section A, okay, perfect mo. Pagdating mo sa section B, hindi na. Parang, bakit ganun? Bakit hindi nag-work? Because our students have different characteristics. Diba? They have different take to your activities. Minsan, yung isang section yung makaka-appreciate, yung kabila, hindi. Diba? So, hindi siya palaging okay. And that's why it is called a plan. And as much as possible, habang plan pa lang siya, dapat pagandahin na natin siya. Sobrang ganda na kahit magkamali siya, maganda pa rin. Okay? That's the essence of having the lesson plan. Yeah, I hope we're clear about that. So that's the lesson procedure. You have to make your readers, your heads, the admin, to know what you are doing, although they are not observing your class. So lesson plan is very important. Then, here are some things you have to consider. You can listen to the questions. How will you introduce the topic? What will you do? Would there be a recitation? Would there be just a Socratic method, questioning, anything? So it's up to you. So, what's the best way to teach this information to your student? Should we sing a song? Should we recite a poetry? So, it depends. How can you incorporate problem solving and critical thinking? Guys, this one is very important. You have to know that the student should not memorize and understand your topic, but they also have to determine how to do problem solving and do critical thinking during your class. Okay? Just a mere question, okay, just a mere questioning, a good question, a substantial one, will lighten up their critical thinking skills. And what real life scenarios relate to this topic? Maybe you can include that. Give examples to your students. Does this topic lend itself to group work? So, can you do group work with that activity or with that lesson? Can they have a brainstorming or so whatever? So, it depends on you. Everything depends on the teacher. But actually, it's not really the teacher. The teacher is the one who is planning everything. But the teacher should take into consideration who are their students. Okay? Parang hindi lang ikaw yun. You should know, will my students enjoy this? Kaya nga dapat kilala natin yung mga students natin eh. Alam natin kung saan sila okay at saan sila hindi okay. Okay? So that's it. Now, here are the checklists for writing instructions. Hope that when you write, you follow this. First, use short sentences and short paragraphs. Guys, I don't need wordy or highly falutin words. We make it simple. Do not make it so complex. Okay? Just make it simple and make it understandable to those who will read it. Arrange your points in logical order. So, kung ano yung una nilang gagawin, ayun yung isusulat mo muna. Hindi yung, for example, group work. This is just an example. For example, group work. And you you will write in your lesson plan, each group, ganito parang sasabihin mo, each group will present a role play. Ganun lang. Kasi nga, sabi nga ni Ma'am, simple lang daw eh. E di ilagay ko muna, each group will present a lesson plan. Tapos tsaka mo ilalagay, they will be divided into 4 groups. Diba? Ang gulo. Hindi mo magigets. So, you first write that they have to divide themselves, okay, into a group. Tapos, paano ba yung groupings? Magkakagulo pa yan. Ano bang mangyayari? So, you also indicate that. Paano ba yung groupings? And then, tsaka mo ipapresent yung role play. Tapos, pag sinabi niyong role play, dapat hindi lang siya basta sabihin nilang na role play. Maybe you give the students the idea what is a role play. Should there be costumes? They will also add rubric for that. Hindi lang yung basta ibibigay niyo yung task sa students. Okay? Make your statements specific. Okay? Avoid general avoid general instructions. For example, yan, groupings. Form a group. Form a group lang. So magkatanong yung students, paano pong group, ma'am? Ilan po ba? So, you tell them, form a group of 5. Diba? Mga ganyan. So, make it specific. Use imperative mood. What is an imperative mood? It's like commanding. Okay? Put the most important item in each sentences. So, the most important item, but please, still, although the most important is in the beginning, you have to consider that it should be in logical order, Logical order pa rin. Say one thing in a sentence. So after your one instruction, period, and then on the next instruction, period, isa-isa lang. Huwag yung sa isang sentence, ang dami mong pinapagawa. Kaya nga sa iwasan natin yung complex compound sentences dito. Okay? Choose your words carefully, avoiding jargons or technical terms if you can. Okay? Give an example or analogy. If you think the statement may puzzle a reader, like for example, hindi mo ma-describe anong laro yung gusto mo ipagawa. So, ginawa mo, basta in-instruct mo lang. Tapos, hindi pa rin na-gets ng students mo. Well, you provide there, ganito lang to. You just do like in a TV show, like a fact or a bluff game show. It's like that. Ayun, nagigets na yun. Diba? So, ganun lang siya. You put an example or analogy as to make it more imaginable to the readers. Check your completed draft for logic presentation. Of course, no grammatical errors, misspellings. Iwasan po. Don't omit steps or take shortcuts. Pagod ka na. Parang tinatamad ka na gumawa ng LB. Kaya hinayaan mo na yung iba. Well, this is your first lesson plan. Parang full-blown lesson plan. So please, how should I say? Do not omit steps. Diba? Take it process-based process. Diba? Parang i-internalize niyo bawat process para masanay kayo. Guys, sa umpisa lang yan mahirap. Kapag nagtagal na sa isang upuan, 10 minutes, makakagawa na kayo ng lesson plan. So here's an example for the procedure or writing instruction. Group activity. The teacher will divide the students into 5 groups. She will let the students choose a topic they wanted to report. This one is in logical order, right? But remember, in writing a lesson plan, even in the lesson plan, we have to be student-centered. Okay? Student-centered. So, using the teacher will is a big no-no. Okay? Do not put the teacher will. Instead, right here, the students will divide themselves into 5 groups or have the student be divided into 5 groups. Okay? So that's it. Okay? It's student-centered. Do not make the teacher as a subject for writing instruction. That's another tip. Okay? Write, okay, it in a student-centered where the students will be the subject for the instructions. Okay, so I hope we're clear about that. Number 5 is the assessment method. So for this assessment method, this is when the students learns the lesson information and met your lesson objectives. This is where you can actually be creative as you can, okay, in having this. Okay, so it's up to you. You just dwell on the seat work. You can even have a group work, a vlog, a TikTok dance, anything. So it's upon you. And you know that the students will enjoy it if it's very relative to them. Lastly, be the lesson reflection. So for the lesson reflection, the lesson will be important to the students and it's up to them to generalize what they have learned. What is the implication of this lesson? So anything. So that's it. Those are the six parts. Sorry, for the lesson reflection, you can even add another set of activities for that. So instead of just asking them questions, you can have additional activities. Okay, so that's it. Now, okay, so we're done. So that's the flow of the lesson plan. Now we talk about the do's and the don'ts of lesson planning. Ano nga bang pwede at bawal kapag nag-lesson plan? Number one, make it specific and detailed. Yung words, dapat specific. Yung sentences, simple lang. Simple pero detalyado. You should not omit steps. Two, provide procedures as to what the students and teachers will do. Do not just provide a task. So this is what I am telling you. You will not just write in your procedure, lalo na sa lesson procedure. For example, the teacher, lagay mo lang dyan, the teacher will discuss the lesson about blah blah. I am talking about a semi-detailed lesson plan, okay? Not a draft, a semi-detailed lesson plan. So you just provide there, the teacher will discuss, for example, the approaches of reading. Ayun lang. Ayun na yun. Ayun lang nilagay mo. Kasi ang question nga, paano i-discuss ni teacher? Anong gagawin niya? Okay? So, you give that to your students. Ipakita mo, paano mo i-discuss. At dapat, hindi lang si teacher ang nag-discuss. It should also, there should be, the students have their part in the discussion. Number three, make your activities and objective student-centered. Sinasabi ko, wag lang lagi si teacher, hindi si teacher ang bida, students. Focus on what the learners will do. Ang isipin natin yung okay sa bata. Para sa bata. Okay? Then, for number four, don't try to teach too much in one day. Alam mo, hindi naman yan pinagmamadali. It's about the depth. It's about ano bang kailangan matutunan ng bata. Okay? So, that's it. You just have to let yourself know na ito lang ngayon. Ito lang muna. Okay? Huwag niyong lahatin. Okay? And don't teach a lesson without a student activity. That's another. Yung iba kasi nagtuturo lang. Walang assessment, walang kahit man lang question and answering portion. For example, in our synchronous class, diba, I do not want ending my lesson without you saying a word. So that is already a student activity given the limited time. Okay? And then, teach to the end goal. So, teach to the end goal. Meaning, it is you who have to know the objectives. Okay? At the end, titingnan mo pa rin. Ito bang ginawa kong activity? Sobrang ganda. Question, na-achieve ba yung objectives mo? Nagawa ba yung nilagay mo sa objectives? That's it. So, ayun yung pinaka-tinitingnan po. And then, 7, know that teaching macro skill is different from teaching grammar and literature. Ayan din. Marami nitong mga nagkakamali. Kasi naman, we can also integrate them. But please, do not dwell too much on grammar and literature. Halimbawa, you want to teach your students writing. Writing and speaking tayo, di ba? Ngayon, ang nilagay mo sa topic mo, may grammar. Doon sa lesson plan, since ang course natin ay teaching of macro skills, dapat mas na-highlight dun yung writing skill kesa yung teaching the grammar. You have to teach the students how to write, not and Pwede siguro yung apply the grammar but not entirely teach them the grammar. Because if in your lesson plan, you teach them, for example, your topic is subject-verb agreement, you teach them the subject-verb agreement, therefore it's no longer a grammar lesson plan. It's no longer a writing lesson plan, but a grammar lesson plan. Okay? Eh, ang tinatarget natin, writing skill eh. Dapat matuto yung bata ng writing. Ano ba yung writing? Ayun yung mga pinag-aralan natin last time. Process of writing, di ba? How to make a draft, how to take note, di ba? How to summarize, paraphrase, ganun dapat yung focus natin if we are referring to writing. And then, literature, pwede rin kasing i-integrate si literature sa mga macro skill. But then, again, we should not focus entirely on the literature. Yung literature piece, ang ginawa mo, inanalyze na. Diba? Pina-analyze na. So, that may be a problem unless it is reading. Okay? Unless it is a reading skill, pwede. Okay? Nagtutugtog minsan si literature at si reading. But in our part naman, speaking and writing po yung focus natin. Okay? Now, what should we avoid doing in terms of teaching demo or even in the lesson plan pala? Too much teacher talk. Doon sa ginawa mo, parang ang daming gagawin ni teacher, sobra. Parang si student parang nakanganga lang. So we have to avoid that. Have your students do something. 2, content is too hard or too easy for the grade level. Yung ba, grade 7 na yan. Tapos ang pinapabasa mo pa rin, yung mga, for example, yung piece mo, pang grade 5, grade 3, para lang madalian ka. No. The objectives will be futile if the content is too hard or too easy. Kapag too hard, they will get bored or maybe they will easily give up, and if it's too easy, ganun din, bored din sila. 3, include content relevant to the student's life. As much as possible, connect it to the outside world. Total, macro skills yan. Why not focus on that? Saan ba nagagamit yung writing outside? Saan nagagamit ang speaking outside? Reading, di ba? Viewing. So, it's up to you. Okay? So, those are some of the things we have to consider in lesson planning. So, for this, let us just analyze and create the lesson example. So, this lesson plan is created from one of my students last academic year. So, this is a lesson plan in writing. This is the format, okay, for a semi-detailed, this is a detailed lesson plan, okay? So the topic here, you look at that, writing a travelogue. So, ayan yung topic niya. So, you look at that. Use grammar and punctuation in writing. Okay? So, that one is specific, pinakita na. Develop writing strategies. That is also one. Highlight the importance of experiences in writing to improve such skills. So, for the objectives, here are some of the things. First, for letter A, maybe we can start off with identifying or defining what is a travelogue. Since we are just critiquing, okay? So since this is a travelogue, the students may wonder what is a travelogue. Diba? Knowing that they are in grade 8, maybe some of them are not really aware of that. So instead of having this as your letter A objective, make it letter B. Mas okay yan. Para application. Di ba sabi ko, yung part A, understand, tsaka knowing. So, let your students define what is a travelogue. Ayun yung maganda. Ayun yung magandang A. So, define. Okay, so sorry. So, let your students define what is a catalog. Tsaka mo ipasok ito. B, use grammar and punctuation and use appropriate. Okay? You can use the word appropriate. Kasi mamaya, gumamit naman siya ng grammar. Gumamit naman ng punctuation. Kaso hindi tama. Eh di mali din, di ba? So you have to insert the word appropriate. Use appropriate grammar and punctuation in writing. And then, develop writing strategies. So, This one, develop writing strategies. Medyo general pa siya ng konti. Maybe we can indicate one strategy. Okay. Develop writing strategies like blah blah blah. You research on that on the strategies, but the word develop is correct. And then I commend this last part, the highlight the importance of experiences in writing. Meaning, we are also targeting the affective. Mahalaga ito, students. Ito pala isa sa mga um, dapat natin tandaan in writing the objectives. Dito napapasok yung paano ma-relate yung lesson mo sa labas, beyond the classroom. Okay? So in your objectives, you apply there the affective. So we have the cognitive, okay? And then we also have the psychomotor, the skill, and lastly, we should have the affective, the heart. And then for the part 2, materials and references, ayan, yan yung mga ginamit niya, pictures. And then here, naglagay siya ng pre-assigned activity. This one is optional. Okay, optional to. Depende, kung, especially kung may papagawa ka sa students mo beforehand na hindi agad-agad nila magagawa. So dapat sa pre-assigned activity siya. So teacher asked the student to bring their photo in application and art materials. So what can we notice here? The use of the teacher. Okay? As I've told you, it should be student-centered. So instead of saying the teacher, nalagay natin, the students bring their photo from a vacation and some art materials. Okay? So ganun po siya. Dapat hindi si teacher ang focus, dapat si student. So, ayan, ang ginawa kasi ni student dito ay detailed. Pinakita talaga niya yung sasabihin ni teacher. Tapos yung response, possible response ni students. Kaya nga, plan eh. Ayan yung expected mo. Nag-a-assume tayo na ganito yung nangyayari. And then here, a pre-discussion activity. So, the student here, or the teacher here, give a name for each activity, which is cute. Diba? Nagbigay siya ng activity. Okay yan, para hindi boring. And then, the teacher will ask the students, again, dapat hindi si teacher ang focus si student. The students get 1/8 piece of paper and complete the statement. I want to travel in with, yan, di ba? Ang ganda ng motivational activity. Parang, tatanong ko, saan sila pupunta? Ang maganda dito, relative sa kanila. Ito yung gusto ko puntahan. Tapos kasama ko. Ganito. Diba? It's interesting, right? And then, hear me, spell me. Yan. But, lagay din si teacher dito ng spelling activity. Okay? Now, here in the spelling, we should avoid, especially spelling we should avoid using capital letter. Okay? We should avoid using capital letter, especially if it's not proper noun. Okay, dapat small letter lang pag nagpapaspelling tayo. So, kapag malalaki yung ginamit natin na letter. Okay, so cute yung activity niya. We can improve it by putting pictures. Okay. Pero may picture na nga si teacher. Now, for the next part is discussion. Ayan. How to write a travelogue. Ayan. So, the teacher will present a PowerPoint presentation about the topic, how to write a travelogue. So, may PowerPoint presentation si teacher. Ayan, natingnan niyo to. But do you know what is a travelogue is? Ang ginawa kasi ni teacher dito, alam na. Alam na ng students. Pero, in reality, alam naman natin na hindi nila alam yun. Okay? Maraming hindi alam nun. Maybe you can ask them, instead of saying, yes, ma'am, you ask them what is a travelogue. Diba? So, ayan po. And then, eto na, pwede naman kung ang nilagay na ng teacher sa umpisa, na-discuss niya na yung travelogue. Kaso walang claim na ganun sa lesson plan eh. Parang umpisa lang talaga. So, ayun po. So, ayan na, nag-discuss na si teacher. Parang ang nangyari lang ay Socratic method, parang discussion, which is fine. Okay lang din naman yun. Now, during the discussion, this is the activity. May pa-activity si teacher during the discussions. The teacher will get a long bond paper and will give it to student number 1. Then the student will ask to write down a question about the topic and write down a possible answer. So muna tayo The teacher will get a long time paper and will give it to student number 1. Question, sino tong student number 1? So, pag mag include tayo ng name, dapat aware tayo, sino to? Saan to nakuha? Sino tong student number 1? Maybe you can say, the teacher will get a long bond paper and will have one volunteer from the class with who will be student number 1. Diba? Ganun siya. Ipapakilala nyo, you have to describe that. Then the student will ask to write down a question about the topic. Yan. Will ask a question about the topic and write a possible answer. So, ang mangyayari, hindi write ng question, hindi specific kung anong question yung itatanong. Mamaya, ang itanong doon, sinong crush mo? Diba? So, hindi siya, okay, dapat ano siya, specific. Anong question? Tungkol ba sa writing of travelogue? Okay? So, okay itong activity. Maganda yung activity na ginawa. Ask the oracle, tanong-tanongan sila. Para maganda yung activity. However, there should be, the instructions should be more specified. Kailangan sabihin mo, ano pang gagawin? Okay? Then, the student number 2 will create a possible question by reading the answer of the student number 2. Ay, student number 1. Okay. So, hindi ganun kalinaw kung paano mangyayari. Kasi si student number 2 daw, siya rin makaka-receive ng tanong. Tapos, gagawa din siya ng tanong. Dapat siguro, tapos sasagutin niya. So, mahirap. Parang ano ba talaga mangyayari? Kapag ganito yung instructions, maganda yung activity, kaso kailangan specific ang instructions. Kailangan malinaw. Kasi kahit ako, when I read this, balik dito tayo. Ano bang gusto kong mangyari? Okay? So, kayo, pwede kayong ipabasa nyo. Halimbawa, sa kapatid nyo, sa mother nyo, kung naintindihan ba yung gusto mong mangyari. Okay? Sa mga classmates nyo, babasa nyo, di ba? Kayo naman, mga future educators. So, ito, here's the script for that. Now, for the last is the post-discussion. For the post-discussion, is what will happen. The teacher will ask the students to bring out their art materials and pictures in making a travelogue of their last vacation. So, pagawa na ng travelogue. Ayan na yun. So, it must contain information regarding the place. Ayan. So, good thing na nag-provide si teacher ng ng rubric. But for to add lang, siguro it would be better if the teacher provide examples of a travelogue, yung itsura. Okay? Yung itsura ng travelogue dapat napakita dito. Okay? And then, for generalization, ito na yung last part na. So, nakagawa na sila ng travelogue. Pero isipin nyo, medyo mahaba. Siguro week-long lesson plan ito. The teacher will group the students into 4 group, which will serve as a station. Ayan, di ba? Maganda tong activity na to. However, parang hindi na siya sakto or sapat sa oras. Maybe this can serve as assignment na lang. Okay, pag ganun. Kasi 1 hour, ito ang tagal nilang gagawa niya ng travelogue. 1 hour and a half would not be enough to do that. So you also have to consider yung time. Pero maganda yung activity na to na ginawa niya. Wherein, yan, meron siyang group. Yan. Tapos yung 4 na group, they will create a graffiti. So may graffiti pa silang gagawin. Diba? So instead of graffiti, why not? Let them use the travelogue. Tapos sila yung magpo-promote. Para maximize yung nagawa nila. Hindi yung pag natapos, ipapasa, wala na. Diba? Ang maganda, nagagamit pa nila yung ginawa nila. Pwedeng gamitin mo yung brochure dito, ilagay mo dito sa paggawa mong group work. Tapos ayun yung ipopromote nila para pumunta. Diba? Diba? Those are some of the creative juices that we have in our mind. It's up to you. And then a student must do the same thing in order to be skillful in writing. So, yan. Those are the generalizations. Tapos assignment, ayan nga, I suggest that it should be put here in the assignment, itong generalization. And, paano yun? Paano papasok yung, yung, tawag dito, yung affective. Ayun yung question eh. Parang, paano papasok ma'am yung affective part? Now, pwede siguro to reflect na lang. Maybe questions kung alam mong masyado nang mahaba sa oras itong papagawa mo. Questions na lang. You ask your students, oh, habang while they are working, o anong pakiramdam mo habang gumagawa? Yung mga ganyan, di ba? So, para maximize yung oras. Ayun po. And then, ayan, kaya tignan kasi natin, highlight the importance of experiences in writing to improve. So yan, hiya-highlight mo lang naman yung experiences in writing. Siguro sa travel log, you can also add here, uh, ayun pala, kapag effective, avoid using the word appreciate. Okay. You can, you can use highlight, emphasize. Ayan. So, for the, yun, instead of the writing experiences, total ito din naman, the travel, why not, it is something about nature. Diba? Parang, emphasize one's love for nature. Okay? With the use of writing. Ganun siya. So, meron kang may kinuha ka eh, parang about sa pagiging yung writing travelogue. So, gawin mo, ganun yung affective. Integrated. Okay? So, in that part, you would be able um, to connect the dot. Diba? Dapat nako-connect natin yung topic natin. Tapos, kailangan na i-extend siya outside. Hindi lang tayo nag-dwell doon sa mismong topic. Kailangan na-apply nila. Okay? So, ayan. Okay. Now, um, in lesson planning, when you want to create a big impact to your students, you have to take a bigger risk. Maghihirapan si teacher, oo, but everything will be worth it. Remember that. So, now, for the last part, this is our learning guide. This is what I expect you to present for next week for our lesson plan critiquing. Okay? Parang draft pa lang naman. This is for the preparation of your midterm because you have to take note of this. Your midterm output, you don't have examination for this midterm. Instead, you have to create a lesson plan either in speaking or writing. Mamimili lang kayo ng isa, speaking or writing, that you have drafted from the week 8 activity. Okay? So, ayan. Create a draft lesson plan for speaking. Ayan yung part 1. And then, the part 2, you have to create a draft for writing. Dalawa yan for the learning guide kasi draft lang naman. And then, topic or lesson, anong topic? Approaches, and then theories. Kapag doon sa learning guide, walang theories, you can research in the internet, okay, about the theories. Do not just dwell on the learning guide. You can research for the theories. And then approaches, ayan, you can use macro skill yung nasa discussion natin ng week 1 to 3, I think. Yun. Yung sa discussion natin ng week 1 to 3, ginamit natin yan, approaches to you. So, yung mga approaches na yun, andun yung CBI, CLT, so it depends. Okay? So, objectives, ayan. Kung ano-ano yung objectives, mahalaga yan, kailangan makita. Now, what are the activities? 7 to 12, anong activity? Tapos, kailangan na-meet nun si objective A. Activity, objective. Kailangan yung bawat activity na napapagawa nyo, na-meet si objective. Now, here, what is your motivational activity? Yan. Anong motivational activity nyo para sa lesson plan na yon? What will be your assignment? Okay, so, that's it. Now, for the letter B, writing naman tayo. Okay? So, yeah. That would be it for your lesson plan writing. I have given you examples, also a sample lesson plan, some critiquing as to what I expect in the lesson plan. At the same time, we define and articulate the different parts of the lesson plan. So, that's it. Um, Teaching macro skill is indeed a very challenging part of being a teacher. But remember that teaching is more than a job. We always remind yourself the reason why you are here. Why do I become a future educator? What is my purpose? The reason you will always be holding so tightly, and that one reason why you reach this far. Nandito na kayo. Why not continue it until the end? Continue aiming your dreams with a smile. So that's it for our discussion here for the teaching of macro skill. I hope you learned well from our topic regarding lesson planning. I am expecting you next week for our critiquing of lesson plan. May most of us attend the synchronous class. So well, that's it, and thank you so much.